Akin, regardless, it's still a good result for you guys, no?
Bro, yeah, I mean, regardless, is the positive today, but then again, we're chaotic in that throughout the game. We're stinking like all over. We're stinking all over, man.
Um, it's the first game of the season now.
Yeah, but then Man U played a good game, despite the fact they lost. I mean, I don't remember the last time we. Maybe there's been times whereby we played well and probably we lost, and we're like, oh, we didn't deserve that. But this one, bro, from beginning to the end, we didn't. We're not even turning up. We're not even like ourselves at all. I don't even know what. That's the thing. With that one match, we don't know what we're expecting from this Arsenal team throughout the season.
It's just
And
one game now. I wouldn't, to be honest, I get your point, like,
okay, okay. I mean, that's what you guys are saying. It's just
yeah,
one game.
but I get your point based on the fact that, but it's one game. Yes, I know that Man United finished 15th, but you don't expect us to end up there and run them ragged now.
But
And
but
besides,
Wale, do you know that even a League One, like a League One team will pull up a good performance than what we did today?
I don't, I don't think it's even, I don't think it was based on what you guys like did today. Yes, Ateta said in his post-match conference that he got into the dressing room. The guys are not happy. It's a good sign, but that was like Arsenal's first win at Old Trafford in a long while. Do you get?
Yeah,
So,
it's like
but
it's I get though. It's hard to it's just weighing your option. Oh, the pros, the
but
cons. But then
ultimately,
again, yeah,
I don't. I'm not even going to judge anybody based on. But if I'm going to look at it from how do I put it, from a one game point of view. Anyway, before we even start looking at it from one game point of view, hello guys, it's the End of Our Nothing podcast. We look like we're back, but I don't know yet. So I'll try and convince the rest of you guys to make us come back early. Um, if from a one game point of view, there are some things that quite like that stood out to me. Like, how do I put it? Yeah, Man United still don't know how to press, but the game had quality in the sense that you see players like Matheus Cunha, you know that okay, he's actually Brazilian. You get his passport is not forged. He knows how to play football. Like he just oozes that quality, and obviously, if you okay, Man United at the home side, let's look at it from Man United's point of view. The positives for them is they have quality in Mbumo and Matheus Cunha. Cunha especially, he looks like the real deal.
it
He's
looked
a
like it
player.
belongs to
Do you
that
understand? Like
team. Like, yeah.
I was watching that game and I was like, oh my god, we don't have money in Syria. This guy should be playing with Lautaro Martinez up front, and who's to stop us from winning the league? He looks like that kind of player. Bumo looks like okay, yeah, his precision is a bit shortened, but you can see the quality there. But in terms and for the first time, I think for the first time in a long while, you can see that oh, this is what they are trying to do, or this is what they want to look like.
It's not like this is what they want to do. Like it
This is
took me back to just what the Fergie team was. You know that Fergie 75-minute thing. It became real today. The counter attacks. I was like, oh
aside from even
wow.
the counter attack, even when they had the ball, at least until Ugarte came in anyway, because Ugarte is the only midfielder that I've seen that doesn't like the ball. Do you understand? As soon as the ball is coming, he wants to go in the other direction. He likes the opponent, he doesn't like the ball. Until Ugarte came in, they knew that okay, we have the ball, they know what to do with the ball, they were direct, they played with a bit of intensity. But for negativity for them, Bruno Fernandes is not that midfielder. He's not a central midfielder. Because there was a period in the game that he was trying to chase the ball back and he was like, "Ah, I'm not getting this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Do you get? They still need a bit of balance there because Arsenal we're not at their best and they won. If you're playing a team like Man City, for example, City would expose you. Especially what we saw with
Yeah,
January Reinders yesterday.
man, that guy is gonna ball in this team, man.
They would
Honestly.
expose the fact that okay, you don't have enough
But
holding
I think
midfielders. And
I wanted to ask a question because yesterday all I could think of is I know just how difficult it is for AC Milan to release any of their players. Like it's a very difficult task to do. How were
It's
they
not
even able?
difficult. They need money. They are broke.
you need
Okay,
there's no
that's
money in
true.
see, there's
That's
no
true.
money in Italy. You find
That
money,
no,
there's no
that
money.
no, that should that make sense. But I'm like, how come this guy is good and the way the guy plays, he floats. He doesn't like football is not so difficult for him. It comes easy. And he lays those passes the way he actually what's the word glides with defenders or the opponents. Like it's hard for anybody to actually collect the ball from the guy, and I'm like, why
I
Ateta
think
do they look this guy?
to be honest, it's not even about Arteta looking at something or Arteta not looking at something. Sometimes these signings happen, and it's, I think Arsenal are flush with options in that position, so I don't think it was a priority. Getting your was like a priority for them.
No, 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 no. We what I've seen from the midfielders today, like, bro, Zubimendi, oh man, that guy was lost. I mean, maybe the first game, honestly, I thought, I mean, maybe there were a few things I saw in the preseason game against Villarreal that I thought, like, okay, I should expect this from when the season starts. But today, it was lost, and I got a fear, I got this immediate fear that if it isn't like a double pivot, honestly, it's going like teams are going to just find him out. Teams are going to draw him, and then he's lost. Like he won't be. He doesn't have the height. He doesn't have the height for like to show for like presence in that midfield. That's number one. Without the help of maybe another defender, or sorry, another midfielder like Rice. You know, if you get what I'm trying to say. And Rice was running a lot today. Where, like, I don't know, they were just over the place. Odegaard was misplacing pass. He was clean attack. Same thing that we saw from him last season. He couldn't decide on time. He couldn't decide properly. It was just too much. And then there's this guy on Twitter telling me that he was our best player on the team, and I was like, are you okay?
I think for context, one, Zubimendi is off the pace. I don't really like. I've watched Zubi for a very long while, and I feel like he's a very fine player. One, he was off the pace. He needs to catch up with the pace of the Premier League because, in
Okay.
all sincerity, people talk about the fact that we get figured out by Spanish team. It's because when you are playing a Spanish team, they force you to slow the game down. And but when we are playing against ourselves, the tempo of the game is always high. Like look at the way Cunha and Mbumo like force the ball. They force the ball, like they drive the ball. So you need to keep up with that pace. So it was just off pace. One, two. I feel like in midfield, you guys were a little bit disorganized,
Yes, yes, yes. I agree. I
and
agree.
Victor was not getting any service at all. Like
At all.
in all sincerity, he was not getting service. Like imagine as a central forward, I'm going to the flank to cross the ball. He crossed the ball on 4 occasions, and I'm like, this guy is not even supposed to be in this position to
Be in the
start.
flank. That's
Like,
the
he's not
thing.
even supposed to be in that
You see,
position.
and you're right with what you said, and that's why I felt like if in the attack, if I'm to draw out like maybe two players that didn't do their job and just made it so difficult for Gyökeres at the end of the day, it's Martinelli and Odegaard. Because let's be honest with ourselves, like if a striker in number 9 is coming to the left wing most of the time in the game, where is Martinelli? Like, what was he doing? He was off. I didn't see Martinelli maybe pass. Maybe he did, but I didn't feel his presence. That's the truth. I
I
didn't feel
was
his
I was
presence.
I was about to mention the fact that I didn't even remember that Martinelli
I
started.
didn't even, yeah, exactly. That's it. And I think everybody is just going to like, I mean, he's just going to be one of those players that never comes up on anybody's what's it called leads
Radar.
when they are analyzing the game
And to be
because
sincere,
he was absent in the game.
it wasn't really like the United defense was extraordinary. Like
He
it wasn't like
wasn't
we were
exactly.
extraordinarily defensively. We
That's
weren't really marking people out and all of that.
Yeah,
So
that's the annoying thing. It was just a case of like attackers, Odegaard that is meant to. Okay, if there's anything I realized today, or I needed to like point out, like when Odegaard has the ball, his first instinct is to always go to Saka's what's it called to the right or pass to the right. Today he was making those, trying to make those behind the defenders passes and all that, and he was getting blocked. That's the only possible. I can see that they are trying to like utilize that more to get Gyökeres in the game. But this kind of things, if you're going to stick to it, yeah, it probably didn't work in this game, but it's not an avenue for you to now say discard it and it's not working. Let's go back to no. You really want to service the striker, and the fact that I see that there's a possibility that okay, this is what they're trying to achieve. It could be just that the line of sight when it comes to these passes, they need to develop a better tactics, or the manager needs to develop a better tactics so that the pass gets to the striker. That's the only okay positive. Like okay, it's no longer pass to the right, pass to Saka from Odegaard. It's now more of like going central. But there are midfielders or attacking midfielders that are actually built for that. That they can
yeah,
actually think on their feet, and it is
I
not
think
Odegaard for me.
I think what I've always been saying and why I've been always been critical about Odegaard is he's a very fine player, but he's not a risk taker. Like,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
feel like that is that is the next level he needs to get to. Like, for example, Adam was rightly saying that, oh, he doesn't think that Odegaard deserves to be the captain. Yada yada yada. I feel like those are one of the factors. Like, you need to be. It sounds very ironic, but one of the reasons why I would rate Fernandez over Odegaard is the fact that, as silly as it might look sometimes, I am that kind of player myself on the field that I want to try those things because I feel like those are the things that would make a difference. So it looks like Fernandez overeats some pass, but there are some of those passes that need that weight of. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you need that risk. Like, I feel like Odegaard needs to take that risk, and that's why it usually does not work for him against big teams because he always wants to play it safe.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
always
yeah.
wants to,
And all rounder generally, he speaks to his personality. Even as a
yeah,
captain, he's a very conservative person. All rounder, like even in his play, in his leadership, you understand. So there are many things that are not working in his favor currently. Let's be factual. And Arsenal, as of right now, Arsenal need that outburst in that final third, like somebody that, like you said, take more risk, that knows, I mean, that are so confident in their ability to be able to like make that pass, and they know for a fact that the striker is going to get to the striker. You get, so he's too conservative of a player to have that mentality, and that's the
yeah,
problem. We need
yeah.
risk taker up front in the final third, and
In
he's
the
no
same
one.
in the same vein, if you look at the Man City Wolves games, they were finding it difficult to break that defense until Reinders took that, like, it took that
Yeah,
initiative.
took it upon himself. Yeah, yeah.
You know what? We need to actually split this defense. And I've been tweeting his own season. He was in AZ. I was talking to a friend
And
that you see
and
riders are talking
and
about.
do you know the funny thing? I feel like even what Johnny Riders did yesterday, he took more of the high risk than the low risk in terms of like high
Yes,
power. Sorry,
look at that
in terms of
pass.
a flick, yeah, because it's even more hard to put a ball in the final third, like when it's coming with so much altitude, than like he didn't go for the low passes. He was taking the risk and just dropping it, and I'm like, okay, this is somebody that knows what he's doing. This is somebody that is actually very confident. You know, players confidence from just the decision they make. Like, he switched it up. I mean, he knew that low passes was not going to break this defense. The guy started like looping it, and he knew that he had the wingers, he had the speedy wingers that can actually get to the ball. This thing is not rocket science, Emma, by me. It's not.
Sorry,
I,
can you
I
guys
I
hear
feel
me?
I feel there's a lot of things you guys can do
Yeah,
on
we
today.
can hear you. We can hear you, Wale. We can hear
Sorry,
you.
There's a
my
lot of things
network
you
is
guys
kind
can
of
build on
acting up.
today, Sha.
Yeah, we can hear you. If it's a lot, I think it needs to improve big time. If he's gonna do the same thing he did last season, there's a problem, and there needs to be a decision right now on, are we bringing in an attacking midfielder with so much with flair, with more flair, and someone that can actually take more risk than Odegaard. We need to make that decision, honestly.
Um, I don't want to. Maybe I should play devil's advocate a bit. For me, for Martin Odegaard, I feel like he needs to. I don't even think it's about taking risks. Sometimes you see the vision and every other thing. He needs to influence the game more. Sometimes you don't need to let the game pass you by. He kind of lets the game pass him by a lot. And element you mentioned, Bruno, Bruno Fernandes at some point, like you can see him taking the bull by the horn sometimes. Like, okay, you know what? Just give it to me. Do you understand? Give it to me. And I kind of noticed that last season when, especially the semi-final game against PSG, both legs, is wanting to be hold it sideways pass, collect it back, sideways pass, collect it back, sideways pass. Sometimes that's not going to get it done for your team. Sometimes you just need to take, you know what, give it to me. Let me see if I can maybe take more risk, have more influence on the game. And today I'm just going to give him the excuse that maybe he has fever, like I said on Twitter. He probably has fever and is recovering. So we'll see how the remaining 7 games pan out for him.
Which
Um,
kind of fever are you recovering from, man? From when did you have that fever? That
because he was playing like he had fever today. Um, to be the Premier League is back. To our viewers and listeners, that the Premier League is back. It's fully operational. We've talked about some of the games. Yeah, the FPL is here. LMJ, apparently, Alan is still a sure banker. You just, once your team shows up, once the FPL starts, out of your 100 million, you spend, is it 14 of it on Haaland, and sit back and you watch how the rest is going to turn out.
Yeah, I think I'm of the opinion this season that one of the two is very essential, but going with the two is not so much of a good idea. Why? Because FPL has a lot of new rules now. There's the African Cup of Nations rule. There's the defensive contribution rule where if players get a particular number of defensive contribution, they get extra 2 points. There is there's the fact that you can now use all your chips twice a season. So, and we've seen people. I think the person that is presently leading is using his bench boost. So you can see the dynamism that comes with it. Normally, the bench boost chip is a chip that you usually reserve for after your after you play your white card. Why? Because that way you have a wide scope of the whole season, and you now have 15 players that you know are going to be starters. So that you know that whenever you use your bench boost, the next week you would have maximum points. But people can now use bench boost from game week 1 because your first team is almost like a wild card team. So like there's a lot of dynamism to it. But I feel like if you are going to through the season without Haaland and without Salah,
Are
I'm
you
sorry,
thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know what you're thinking.
Honestly, sorry for cutting you. I just feel like you just dropped a FPL masterclass. Maybe we can include it in one of these episodes. You just developed it for people out there. Tell us the reason behind it because the way you broke it down now, I didn't honestly. I just picked him and boom, I just kept it moving. But what you just said about that actually makes a whole lot of sense, and I'm like, why is it that nobody is talking about this? Because I've watched a lot of YouTube content to create my team, and all of them are just saying this. They are just like analyzing individual talent, and I'm like, no, tell me how to maximize this app or whatever this thing is.
Yeah, the issue is there are a lot of channels, but the very important thing is finding out the channels of guys that play the game at an analytical level. Like it's almost like they are playing it like a mathematics formula. Like you can see that they are putting a lot of thoughts to it. You get, and I've noticed that since I've started playing a particular kind of way, I've been ranking higher. You get so now I wouldn't be surprised if by game week 4, 5, those that know how to play have used their white card. That is the plan. You get like we are getting into it. I'm beginning to see signals that Palmer might not be a good pick. 10.5 million is a lot to just be sitting down and be scoring me 3 points. Like when you can actually have somebody like Tijani that got me, I think 13 points, and it just cost me 5.5. So I knew immediately from the get-go that I needed 3 Man City players, but I was not sure who the third one was going to be. I have Haaland, I have Tijani. Now I think I know the third person. So by game week 2, game week 3, 4, I'm trying to get Antinori into my team. He's going to have defensive contribution. He's going to be a major stay in this Guardiola side. The major thing about Man City is the fact that you are not so sure he's going to start. Before, the only certain person to start was Haaland. But
That's
now
Yeah.
the
we are
thing because they rotate a lot,
They
so you're
rotate a
kind of
lot.
scared.
But can I ask a question as well? Because me, like I said, I'm ignorant about this whole thing. Like three
yeah.
seasons, and along the line, I just fall short because I stopped paying attention to it. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's how my season go. But friends are always like, "Oh, just join, just to make the numbers
Just to make
bigger."
numbers.
Yeah, just to make the numbers. That's what I'm just doing at this point. But if there's anything that I think I've realized, I not realized, but maybe a question per se is that with these players that you've actually listed, like for instance, Johnny Reinders and probably I Nuri now, I think their price are only going to go up. Or at what point in time do their
Yes.
price start going up? Like we need to, how fast do you think we need to start paying attention or acting fast to
Yeah,
get the best out of it?
I think uh, there's a lot of dynamism to it, especially with the new rules too. But the fact is, a lot of transfers don't need to be rushed. I'm seeing a lot of people transferring um, Semenyo. A lot of them are transferring Semenyo because of the is all against Liverpool. I see somebody like Semenyo as a weight. Why? Because a lot of things can
Wait,
still
sorry, when you
transpire.
mean transfer, is it out or in?
They are transferring him in already, like after just 1 week. But the fact remains that now people are going to hike the price of Semenyo because of that transfer that is happening. It's going to increase by 0.5 million this week. I am very sure of that. So, but you need to now look for people that are slept on. I think Tijani is still a little bit slept on. Is the third highest transfer, if I'm not mistaken now. But So, like, if you are, because a lot of times you need to also time that transfer in the sense that the value of your team increases. For every 2 million increase, you get a 1 million when you sell them. So my plan now will be to wait for Tijani to increase from like 5 million to like 7, 8 million. It might get to 8 million this season. Because I feel like Tijani is way underpriced. Imagine Tijani with a Rodri behind him. Like, just imagine Tijani with a Rodri behind
Man,
him.
the guy will blow up. And
So,
moreover, I myself, currently now, because Kopama is about 10.5 or how much is it
Kupama is
now?
10.5. And I have a feeling that
That's like twice Tijani, and that's so
twice.
unfair. After what we just saw,
Yeah. So, and
that
I
makes
believe
sense,
that
honestly.
Kupama has not scored an open play goal since January.
Since
I think he has.
January, yeah, I saw that fact yesterday, and I was like, I mean, I placed my head on my hands on my
No,
head.
I,
I'm like,
I
Ojono,
felt, I felt,
Ojono.
I felt Joao Pedro is the most owned player in the game. Like, immediately I saw that I'm like, I'm not going for Joao Pedro. Why? Because I felt like a lot of people were banking on the Club World Cup form. Now the fact remains that they had an incredible tournament, for a tournament that we all claim we didn't care about before it happened, except when now every market day Chelsea fans they have to remind us that they are the world champions. Thank you very much. But I feel like a lot of that form might not translate to the league, and that was why I didn't pick Joao Pedro. But I felt like, okay, if anything was going to tick for Chelsea, it was going to come through Palmer. So it's quite unfortunate, but I might still give Palmer a week or two in my team. But I also want to capitalize on that his price, because that his price can get me two very good midfielders, and I will be set to use my bench boost. So
Honestly, I think I'm considering just removing him from my team now at this point.
it wouldn't be a bad transfer to sell Palmer right now.
Right now, yeah.
It,
Right
me,
now.
I adjust my weight because I saw that start of opening open play goal since January this morning. I was like, it's not even that one that's pinning me. It's the concert that collected unnecessary red card. That one put me for trouble. Because I don't know what he was thinking.
And that's the crazy thing about Konsa is the fact that I have some players that I would never buy. Why? They've hurt me one season or the other. Konsa is one of them. Like, imagine buying Konsa and it's either he goes injured or he gets a red card or his coach decides to bench him for like 2 games and you are regretting because the player you sold him for is now all in serious points. Like, it's very crazy. There's some the both of them are from Aston Villa. I can never touch them again. I will never touch Watkins again. And I will never touch Konsa again. Because I bought
All the players you mentioned, honestly, I'm the culprit. All the three players you mentioned today, Kopama, Watkins, who else? Oh, I don't have Konsa, but you see those two. Ah, man, I'm regretting. Like I'm biting
there,
my finger.
there are some
Imagine just having 47 points, and I only have one player left to go, and the player is playing against Everton tomorrow. Kilo, what does he want to do? What does the player want to do?
well,
And then there's one other league I joined as well, right?
you can't really tell
Whereby
you.
whereby whereby I think that league in that league, if you are like part of the last five people, you are boot out of that league.
Ooh.
Yes, and I'm like, I'm already 65 position, and the people below me, I have like 10 to 15 people more, and I'm like, wow, that's how bad it is. That's how crazy. No, really,
It
that's how
means
crazy it is.
it means you can survive the season. It means you can survive
It
this
doesn't necessarily mean like so. It's like this. It's not even this season. It's every game week.
every game week they kick
They
people
are
out.
booting.
I
They
like
are
that kind of
booting people out. They are
I like
booting
that
people out
kind
from that
I
league,
like that kind of I like that kind of league
I
because
don't
it's
think I can
bro.
survive that kind of
everybody
league.
serious. I like
Bro,
that.
that league. People are you see, people are always hiding. People don't talk prior to like the start of game week because they're like, I hold my team to my chest. I won't be the one that will be booted out of this league. I will never be the one that will be
That's
booted out
actually
of this
kind of
league.
interesting, though.
People even hide the people that they are going to captain. That's so
Wow.
funny.
Wow. That's a very competitive league. That
Very,
way,
very competitive. That's one thing. I think that was like the catch, and it's a lot of people. If I check the WhatsApp group now, I'm pretty sure they are like fielded they fielded the available or allotted spot slot for what's it called for WhatsApp, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like
wow.
now everybody's waiting for the game tomorrow. People are already scared. You can even tell that someone said, "Can we replay this game week again?"
I
That's
think
and that's the funny thing about FPL is the fact that it's now becoming very saturated to the extent that from game week one you can get depressed when you are like way above, we are way below the average, and like I have leagues that we make fun of ourselves. Like, oh God, you cannot even score above the average. You are not fit for this. Like, it has gotten that crazy that people are now very invested in it. And I mean, a lot of paid league this year. There's a league that would pay close to $500 to the winner, like crazy amounts of money.
Bro, all I know is that I'm just gonna enjoy the ride. That's all.
Hopefully this year I just get more serious because most times for me, once I pick my team before game week 1, that's the team that runs until game week 38. I just feel it.
That's exactly me. You see, we are birds of a feather here, bro. I'm telling you,
I just hope I
that's
don't get
just
serious.
me. There was a time, the only time I won manager of the week, it was the same team from the previous 5 weeks. I'm serious. That was, they were actually say, "Be sure for you do it again." The next week, like it was all chaotic. It was down the hill from that moment. So it's
Um,
always
Either way, I feel like as the week goes on, we'll keep dropping the tips, FPL tips, and Elemeje is here to give our viewers and listeners a lot of tips to win their respective groups, whether they're winning $500 or you're winning bragging rights or you're avoiding getting kicked out of the group. The Premier League is here, La Liga is going on, French League has started. You guys know all those things. Aki, when I saw one Moses Ituma, or is it Itauma? Guy from the UK, boxer, heavyweight, 20-year-old, Nigerian
I'm,
descent. I'm
I'm,
like,
I'm gonna be lost in this current conversation. Muzi Tituma. Let me
I'm like,
see.
he defeated what's his name, Dillian White yesterday via
Ooh,
knockout in the first round,
really?
and I'm like, wait, are you serious? He's how old? And I know Dillian White is for the past few years. Dillian White is just well, as long as I get my money, I'll show up. Whether you beat me black and blue, it doesn't matter. Run me my check. But his record looks kind of impressive. I know there's UK on his flag now at the moment until he loses his first match.
They don't
So
claim him.
there's UK on his flag at the moment.
They've claimed him.
So
No.
until
It's not about claiming anymore. It's not about claiming anymore. It's fully Nigerian. And there was an interview he did with Bet Niger, and he was claiming to be a Nigerian, and he was talking about other Nigerians that have done it, and he was even talking about the fact that Bomba, what's the name of this guy?
Dillian
Wider.
Wider,
Wider
Deontay
may be
Wilder.
an American, but he has Nigerian heritage. Like he was even mentioning Nigerians in boxing that I don't know.
bro,
So,
bro,
and the
bro.
fact
I'm
that
I'm looking at the. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Continue. Sorry.
yeah, the
Sorry.
fact that he's young. No, I'll drop the mic now. The fact that he's young, and
Yeah, that was gonna be
people are
what I
already
was saying.
people are already tipping him to go and fight Usyk. Like no, it's a Nigerian thing.
No, no. I did. They don't they fumble. They don't
Nigerian
they
thing.
fuck up.
Now, no vex, no vex. It's a Nigerian thing.
They don't.
But people are talking about the fact that Bet Niger can bring this fight to Lagos. Like Bet Niger can bring this fight to Lagos, and Nigerians are already saying he should fight Usyk. He should fight. Like
Let them take it easy, man. That's not how it works,
it's
please.
quite
Let's not do
exciting.
that.
It's quite exciting for a 20-year-old.
It's exciting. I think one catch point is this. From the first thing I saw is his image and then his picture, sorry, and then his age, and I'm like, how is a 20-year-old heavyweight fighter built like this?
Elementary, I know
Like,
he's claiming like he talks about Nigeria and stuff, but yesterday's fight, there was a UK flag here, like showed boldly, like from the UK.
It's like we have to be very sincere. That it's the fact that it is the UK that actually does the publicity.
Okay.
And for example, Aki knows this very well. In the UFC, they will say fighting out of New Zealand, born
Uh,
Lagos, Nigeria, yada yada yada. Like, and we are in a world where dual citizenship is not a big deal. So I don't really see all of that as a problem. Now, where I see as where the problem begins to emanate for me is when you start pandering to us when you want the publicity from us. Because that, I would not lie to you, that was what pissed me off with Joshua. Is the fact that you are only a Nigerian when it's convenient for you to be a Nigerian, and you are a British when things start working for you again. Like me, I'm on the Mikel Obi side of things. Like, if you want to play for Nigeria, play for Nigeria. Don't come and play for us when you are 37 years old and nobody's calling you up again. Like you get my
No, no,
narrative.
no. Fair, fair, fair,
Like you
fair.
get my narrative. Like, so that is where I am. But this guy is embracing us. He's actually embracing us. Maybe it's because of the sponsorship he got from Bet Nigeria. I don't know, because that was the way I was able to. That was the way I was exposed to him before he even came
Yeah,
to Nigeria.
yeah, yeah. Better actually did a good job. That's why I heard about him in the first place.
So I'm like, okay, this is exciting. And I will not lie to you, we all know that the most exciting division in boxing is the heavyweight division. Like,
I'm
like
surprised that Akin actually missed the fight. Like,
I missed. So I mean, trust me. See, I don't think what's the word? Like I've been like into boxing lately. Even the UFC. I was out yesterday. I was only able to meet the what's it called, the Kazimov fight.
Kamjaev and
Yeah, duplexes. Like that was only game. I when I came back home, that was only game. That's just how much I've not been like getting into like all of these fights and boxing
I think
lately.
Elemeje
So
followed Duplessis and
yes, yes, yes,
Kamza
yes.
Kamai fight.
I don't think I missed any major
I mean, I didn't miss I didn't miss the fight. It was a very, I won't say great. It was just like we all know, it was going to be one dimension from like Chimaev. We know that from onset, and I don't understand why a lot of fans were not also expecting that. But that's to digress. I think we'll come back to that aspect. I just want to briefly touch on this guy, this new beast in the heavyweight division for the boxing. I think it's too late to start like pitting him against what's his name,
Too late
Usyk.
or too early?
Nah, it's too early. Sorry, it's too early. Sorry, it's too early to start doing that. Let's be honest with ourselves. That number one, he's inexperienced. He's only had like 13 fights to
Fight, yeah.
his belt and 11 KOs. And again, he's fighting against a 37-year-old what's it called Dillian White that I don't think he has made so much noise in recent times. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? I mean, it's too early. Let's get that thing straight.
To be honest, I
But
don't think there's anybody in
what
that
I've
division that was
that's the
touching.
thing, like, so because a lot of like names are not as because, and that's the funny thing, that's what make UC great. He has silent a lot of opponents in that division. Let's be honest, that's why people need to put more respect on Usyk. Even there are some people that still believe that doesn't deserve to have all the accolades that he has now. And I'm like, do you know just how you come into a division and the people that were once the talk of the division, we no longer hear them. In fact, some of them are even taking breaks for their mental health. Sorry to bring that up, but which is that's just the truth. And I feel like in the what's it called in the federation right now, what the best they can do is start introducing the newbies, and that's exactly what they are doing with this guy. And if they get it right, he still needs more fights. I wouldn't want them to just immediately push for an Usyk. He will be embarrassed. They will just lose it all over again. They will have to like start that they will have to start doing another PR for that division again to get it more like competitive. But right now, let them maintain. I don't necessarily want them to fight at any point in time because I mean Usyk
No,
is
no, no, no.
aging. This one
I
is
want
just
them.
about to
I want
start.
them to fight. I want them to fight when Usyk is getting
But
older.
like in how many years? That's the
No,
question.
no,
Like in how many
five
years? Like
years.
how
Not
soon?
5 years.
How soon?
5 years.
4 5 years. How old would Usyk be?
I
How old
don't
would
care.
Usyk be
I
by
don't
then?
care. At that point, he can beat Usyk, and it will be like a retirement plan for Usyk, because by then he would have racked up more wins to his name. So now he can now sell. By that time, for example, let's say he sells out Wembley twice. He goes to Wembley, sells out Wembley twice. He beats Dubois. He beats his uncle AJ for fun, just for fun anyway. Then beats some other random big names. And you get, like, he has done that for like 3 years. And Usyk is about to retire. And he beats Usyk. Like,
Right,
imagine that kind of stuff.
I like that. But what I'm just scared about, I'm talking about like preserving that division for as many years as possible.
Yeah,
I would want them to rather just like bring in more talent like this to
definitely.
preserve that division, to preserve that
That's what,
competition. Yeah,
think that's what the WF is trying to do. That's what they're trying to do.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm just looking, because it's just a matter of time. These so-called people that we have gotten used to, their lifespan in the division is probably maybe 4 or 5 years left, and then you don't have like uprising stars anymore, except this Moses Utama. So that I'm looking more of like the preserving the league for the long run or for the long term. You understand? But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see a replication of just how AJ got into the division and became the face, right, when he fought Klitschko. You understand? It's going to be in that direction as well with this Moses Intama and like Usyk. That's good. And I have a problem with repeating that pattern. Why not just try a new thing whereby you introduce more fresh talent and preserve the division that way, rather than
Sometimes,
just doing
sometimes,
a passage right of
Yeah, I
like
think
current champions.
I dig your idea in the sense that let us form new rivalries. Like let us
Form new
have
rivalries. Exactly. God
let's
bless it. I
have
think that's the phrase. Form new rivalries.
like let's form new
Form new
rivalries.
rivalries.
I
Let's have
think
three
sometimes we
great
forget
young
that it's
guys.
boxing. Those rivalries are not as easy to form as we think, as we would like for them to be, because like age plays a huge part. You get. I remember when Canelo came onto the scene that time, and it looked like, oh my god. Yes, Canelo has gone on to become very special, but he fought Floyd Mayweather at that point, and we all know how that went. Like Mayweather ensured that okay, his experience and everything too. So even if we're going to use the same pattern, I just want him to like rack up as many fights as possible. And for now, just avoid Usyk. You get, because I don't think there's anybody in that division that stands a chance. Before I think our time is almost fast spent. Formula One is still on holiday. My mental health is good. Ferrari you cannot hurt me when you're not driving. So that's fine. I don't have to stress myself. Formula One is on holiday. A lot of things are good. Before we call it a night, I just want to, how do I put it? Put a particular thing on the transfer window, because the transfer window is still going on. Akin, I'll just start with you, but for the both of you, my question is, what's the best transfer that you've seen so far? The best transfer that you've seen in this window, and what does your team need, whether it's a player or a position? Akin,
Okay, you're talking about the best transfer generally in
yes,
the
general, not
EPL
the
or in
position,
the
like
entire
generally.
league. Ah, man, I can't generally think of one, but from just the outlook of like the very first game week, I mean, there's some names that actually ring bells, or they are starting to make noise. Like the Tinjani renders fantastic, honestly. Like I just like his style of play. He's so calm on the ball. He has all the necessary qualities. Like you would, for players like that, you would think when they come into a certain league, they're going to find it difficult. But he somehow was able to like adjust to it, and we kind of see that Gudogan kind of play that I mean Man City lacked, and we got that from him in that game. And I'm quite pleased with what I've seen also with the new arrivals for Manchester United. I feel like they are an incredible team. Like the likes of Cunha, Mbemo is only going to get better. He's already picking up. I think it's just a change of system coming from that system under Thomas Frank to Amorim right now. It's going to adjust, and I think it's going to be even quicker than we think. So I am quite impressed with that, to be honest. So those two, I just want to point out those two instances. And as for my team, Arsenal, honestly, I don't know, man. I really don't know if we've done the best we can in the in the transfer window. I feel like there's still that needs to happen. There's still something that needs to. There's a deal that needs to get done. I think more
Do you
of
have a
like
player or
maybe
a position in mind?
if no, I don't have a name, but I know the position actually. I feel like Martinelli needs like competition. That's number one. And I feel like we need a attacking or a creative juice in that midfield. To be honest, somebody that knows when to pick the pass and then pick. I mean, we need that such a player for the sake of so that Gyökeres what's it called credentials won't be in the mud at the end of the day, because at the end of the day now it's so easy to say one of two things: is either he's shit or is fluke. No, really, is either it's fluke or just the team where he's not a perfect fit. That's the thing. those one of two things is going to be said at the end of the day. And that's one thing I'm scared for him for, honestly. So generally, I don't think my team has done the best because I've seen game week one, and I'm even more worried. And it's for that reason. I know it's early, but I'm not confident like enough as well. Just going into this season after watching what I watched today. So for that, those are like my comments, and yeah, I'll leave it like that.
I don't think
I,
Elemeji
I
is
think
going to. Okay,
I
go on.
think I think for me, my best transfer for during this window has been. It is sad to say, but the City transfers, Czechie, £30 million. Are you kidding me? I understand the fact that Lyon is in financial problems. Tijani Reinders for £50 million. Like, other than the quality, is the fact that in this kind of inflated market, we can still have this kind of deals. I was not expecting Reinders to go for anything less than £80 million, and I was not expecting Czechie to go less than £100 million. Like, I am going to be sincere. Like, these are players that I have seen them play, and I understand. Like, we're talking about potential. We're talking about talent. These guys have the talent already, and their sky, like their ceiling, is still way above whatever it is we've seen before. So I feel like those two guys have been very impressive, and to get them at that valuation is a crazy steal for me. It's a crazy steal, and for my team, I think it is a general consensus that we need a keeper. Like, absolutely shit show of goalkeepers that we have. Absolute shit show of goalkeepers
Onana
that we
also
have.
be back. Chill off.
So, like, Ben Yedder is like, I don't even know. I don't even know how I can express these things. Yes, they are not supposed to block you, but at the same time, you need to be a little bit aggressive for the ref to be able to consider you. Like, he was not. His hand, it was very lax. His hand was just like this, and oh God, they push me. Should be his tennis that we are playing. It's not quarter sport that we are playing again now. So we need a shot stopper, and
Sorry, guys, I need to go. Sorry.
okay, for the fact that they can just throw Donnarumma in the bin, and you cannot just go and say, "Okay, £40 million, give us Donnarumma." I understand the fact that I don't understand. We built a new training. We built a new training. I don't understand. So we need a goalkeeper, and we need a defensive mid. For Inter, I feel like after the Shege that Chanaloglu faced, we need a central midfielder that can decide game, that can dictate the tempo of games. We need a central mid. I don't know what is happening at Inter, but I wish we can. I know there's Fratesi. I know there's Augusto, the guy that wears my jersey number. But I still think we need a midfielder. We need somewhat of an anchor and somewhat of maybe a box to box that has sense. Because
To be honest, one of the reasons why Rancherki and Tijani Reinders can go for those prizes is that, like Sporting Lisbon president said, sometimes the league you are determines how much you sell a player. You can't tell, and besides, the lack of finances for Lyon was very obvious, and for Milan, there's no money in Serie A too as well, so they can't be demanding exorbitant fees. If those players were in the Premier League, obviously they will go for way higher prices than the cost City. So, and on the issue of best transfer, even prior to this game that we saw earlier today, the idea of Matheus Cunha to Man United made sense to me because he's more of a maverick. Like, he's that kind of player that we saw today, does things off the cuff, like likes to play off the cuff. Yes, there are issues with his attitude and stuff like that, but he plays on the edge. And players like that will not bow to the pressure of, oh, I play for Man United. We've seen players shine at different clubs but struggle when they get to United. So that was when I looked at and I said, wow, this is actually very impressive. Do you get? And for what we need, anyway, I don't know why Lemeje is talking about Charanoglu and Charanoglu. Achebi still plays centre back, and Damian, please. Mavi still plays
no,
nice.
the,
There's still
the, the
Achebi
fact
who plays
remains that
centre
the
back.
fact remains that the
Achebi
fact
is going to
remains,
leave the field. The Vry will come in for him so that they will give me a potential together. Both of them. Achebi is 36, the Vry is 35. Both of them should
no,
be
I
home now,
I actually
sleeping.
understand that we need central back. I
They should
actually
be
understand.
sleeping, but they are
But
playing centre back.
You,
so
you
they
know
can give
Serie
me
A
MVP.
now. You know the way Serie A is. You know the way
No, it's
Serie
not a
A
case
is.
of you're not playing only Serie A now. You're going to play Champions League football. And one of the
That
reasons
is
why I
where
keep
our
mentioning
Nyash,
this,
that is where our Nyash used to show now. But
one of the reasons why I'm mentioning the both of them is by the time we got to like March last season, the entire
their
team
legs, their
legs
legs.
are gone. We were just hoping for the season to end. It's like we just perform all kinds of miracle. And if you think Kivu is going to perform any miracle this season, you must be mistaken. So please, Chananonu can stay for one more season. I know he has been flirting with Saudi Arabia and Turkey. If he wants to leave, we can open the door for him. But if I say Achebi one more time, I just might lose it. I might lose it. To our listeners out there, thank you so much for.
Sorry. Let me say this. Let me say this. For the fun of it, finding a central back in Italy is not hard. Like, I think you can bear witness to that. Like, finding a central back in one academy in Italy is not hard. That is something that we've been able to replicate over and over again, and we've been able to steal central backs from other clubs. So I feel like
It's not
we
about
can
stealing,
always.
Italian teams are disappointing. What's his name? Giovanni Leone has gone to Liverpool for
Leonie has gone
35
to
million
Liverpool.
euros.
Yeah.
He played very well for Parma last season, and we all saw him. He came from Novara with like 1 year Parma and every other thing. Like we can say that okay, at 19, he already looks like okay, he's the next best thing after Bastoni for Italian defense. Do you get? Diogo Coppola played for Hellas Verona last season. He was outstanding, young. He went to Brighton for 10 million euros. So there's none of the big boys in Serie A has 10 million euros to pay for a defender. Italian teams are not ready yet. Please, Achebi, thank you very much. I'm getting old. Don't give me IBP. To our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for being there. Until next time, please stay safe, stay good, and yeah, the Premier League has returned. And yeah, bet safely.